to this week's Movie Math, where the Jurassic Park franchise impressively roared back to life. In fact, when it comes to the box office food chain, the Universal Dino flick seemed to knock the former king of the jungle down a peg, Marvel Studios. Yes, and what's turning out to be a surprisingly tough summer for Kevin Feige and company, not only has Jurassic World surpassed its underperforming Age of Ultron, but is now also expected to unseat their original Avengers as the biggest opening weekend of all time. See, prior to Jurassic World, Marvel had the top 3 opening weekends of all time, while Disney overall dominated the billion-dollar club thanks to its plethora of strong brands, with Marvel, Disney Animation, Pixar, live-action fairy tales, and theme park movies. And this December they'll be adding Star Wars to the mix. However, Universal has taken some serious bites out of Disney's box office dominance this summer, first with Furious 7 and now Jurassic World. Surely the other studios smell the box office blood in the water. And globally, Jurassic World has already been officially crowned the biggest opening of all time, with $511 million, thanks to releasing pretty much day and date in every major market except for Japan. Maybe it's time for Marvel to reassess their aversion to day-and-date releases worldwide, especially after bad buzz for Age of Ultron from foreign audiences might have handicapped that film's box office debut here. One reason that Jurassic World's worldwide haul was so big was China, which added about $100 million to the tally. Indeed, China has been good to Universal this year, where Furious 7 remains the biggest box office hit the country has ever seen, although we'll see if Jurassic World can unseat it. In comparison, Age of Ultron has grossed just about half of Furious 7's Chinese haul. It's also worth noting that in a single weekend, Jurassic World has outgrossed Mad Max Fury Road's 5-week haul, and it's rumored that Mad Max won't even get a China release. Yes, while Mad Max might be the critical darling of fanboys and the industry alike, Jurassic World is a corporate darling for sure. While Jurassic World has a similar price tag to Mad Max, that was offset by massive product placement. What's more, Jurassic World is rated PG-13 and has a far broader appeal, as evidenced by its ability to get younger male viewers back in theaters. 58% of the audience was male, and 50% was under the age of 25. Jurassic World also revitalized the 3D market, as domestically, 48% of its business came from 3D screens. IMAX showings also performed well here and abroad. It does seem that with a single film, Hollywood was able to fix all of its problem areas at once. Another big winner for the weekend is undeniably Chris Pratt, who, like Dwayne Johnson, seems to be proving that today's movie stars need to be social media savvy. He not only took to Facebook to thank fans for supporting the movie, but also Instagrammed a pic of him receiving the motorcycle from the film as a gift. And he was sure to mention that it's a Triumph motorcycle, one of the corporate sponsors of the film, which is not only why he was riding it alongside velociraptors, but working on it during one of his dialogue scenes as well. There's been a lot of talk about Jennifer Lawrence demanding a $20 million payday for the upcoming sci-fi romantic comedy Passengers. But now surely co-star Pratt deserves the same size paycheck as well. Let's hope he hasn't signed on yet, or else there's going to be an awful lot of resentment on set. And thankfully, Marvel already has a multi-picture deal with Pratt, which you can bet they'll be very careful about executing, considering how expensive a renewal will be at this point. Indeed, it would seem that Robert Downey Jr. finally has some real competition as Marvel's most valuable asset. As for the rest of the box office, no other films opened to challenge Jurassic World's dominance, a decision rival studios might now be regretting. Yes, while Jurassic World's boffo box office makes the entire industry look good, at the same time it's allowed Universal to leapfrog over Disney and Warner Brothers to become the first studio this year to cross $1 billion domestically. And Universal will likely pull ahead even further with Ted 2 and Minions, 2 more pictures that have their opening weekend's gift wrap for them, with no competition whatsoever. As for The Holdovers, Spy fell 45% in its second weekend, a bigger second weekend drop than for Melissa McCarthy's Identity Thief, The Heat, and even Tammy. At least the comedy has surpassed the century mark worldwide, but trouble does seem to be brewing for that Ghostbusters remake. San Andreas also took a bit of a tumble opposite Jurassic World, but the Dwayne Johnson disaster pick has already amassed $300 million worldwide. But truly frightening was Insidious Chapter 3's second weekend tumble, falling almost 70%. Now it'll be up to Jason Blum to figure out the missing vital ingredient. Patrick Wilson and Rose Byrne, James Wan, or perhaps distributor Film District. Yes, it would seem that Focus Features isn't as good at launching horror films as it is prestige films. Meanwhile, Pitch Perfect 2 had an impressive hold in its 5th weekend, falling just 20%, while Mad Max fell almost another 50% to number 7. George Miller and fans desperately need that China release to happen. Then, Tomorrowland is almost out of the top 10 already, a film on which Disney is now expected to take a $140 million loss. The industry trades are calling it the studio's worst flop since The Lone Ranger, and George Clooney has got to be fearful of falling from grace, as did Johnny Depp. And finally, Love and Mercy managed to pop into the top 10 in its 2nd weekend, largely thanks to Aloha falling out of the top 10 in its 3rd weekend. As for this coming weekend, Pixar is set to return to its former glory with a boffo debut for Inside Out, while Sundance favorite Dope is expected to land solidly in the middle of the top 10 thanks to a nationwide release. Dope has a far different release strategy than its Sundance competitor Me and Earl and the Dying Girl, which debuted this weekend in limited release with a moderate per-theater average. And that's the weekend box office, breaking down Tinseltown. I'm Grace Randolph, and we just did some movie math. As always, thanks for watching, and I hope you'll go beyond the trailer for these other top movies.